fellow horror fans, geeks alike. This is the first of my four-part series on my personal favorite horror movies for October, Halloween, or just in general. This does not mean that I think these are the best made horror movies of all time, so don't start attacking me because my taste isn't the traditional list with The Shining and everything else. These are just the ones that over the years I have found that I can watch over and over again. I find a lot of pleasure in. Some are heavy, some are not heavy, some are fun, some are not fun. Well, actually, they're all fun. Some are comedic and some are not comedic. But I do have a specific checklist that I go for. So movies like Jaws, Misery, Silence of the Lambs. I don't personally feel that those are horror movies. To me, a horror film has to have some kind of supernatural element, or it needs to have some kind of legit slasher element where there's a killer and he's killing just based on just like he's going to like sorority houses and things like that or whatever. So Silence of the Lambs is more of an actual like psychological thriller, and I love that movie. Just like I love Seven, and Misery is great, but they don't fit, at least to me, they don't fit my criteria. So without further ado, we're gonna go into my number 31 on my list. The Host, from 2006, directed by Bong Joon-ho, to film from South Korea. You might know Bong Joon-ho from a little film called Parasite, which he won Best Everything for this past year. So this is kind of like his first really big film that you can, watching this, you can really see there's a lot of those traits that he's going to pick up on later. It's a monster film. For those who know, there's little spoilers in all these. It's a traditional monster film. There's this water-like creature that is attacking people by a river. A girl gets taken, and this family of the girl gets like drawn into trying to save her. That's the basis of it. What I love about this film is that it has a traditional feel of a monster film, but it still feels kind of innovative. It feels kind of new. All the characters feel pretty well-rounded, which isn't always the case for horror films. There's a lot of heart in this film as well. There's a lot about overcoming failures in life, which I think speaks to a lot of people. And the effects are a little dated at this point. They didn't look very great then. Korea's not known for having the best special effects, but I don't think it holds you back too much on this film. It's definitely worth a watch. It's not too long. You can find it on Hulu. Number 31, The Host. Coming in at number 30 is a little bit newer. It's Oculus from 2013, directed by Mike Flanagan. Stars Karen Gillan, a young Karen Gillan. I love this movie. Some people didn't like it too much. The ending's a little lackluster. It's a little anticlimactic for how it builds. But Flanagan really shows his creativity and his love for the genre in this film. You can tell there's a lot of like very inventive shots here and there, and it just looks as if he really put his heart into this. For those who don't know, Oculus is about this mirror that is haunted. It's gone throughout American history. And the owners of the mirror at some point have gone crazy and they've killed people. And so the basis of the story starts with this family, and you get this time back and forth between the family being young and then as adults in terms of how this incident in this mirror has shaped them over the years. It's very inventive, very cool. It's very unnerving also. It's also a really great take on ghost stories. Ghost stories have been told to death, so it's hard to get like a new one in there that's really going to make people sit up and notice. And there's a lot of really cool scenes where basically the mirror is tricking their mind because it protects itself anytime that people begin to understand what it's doing. And so it begins to change their minds and stuff. And so there's a scene where like she thinks she's eating an apple and it's actually a light bulb. And there's this scene where her and her brother are arguing in a room, and 5 seconds later, everything in the room is all of a sudden moved around, and they have to go back on the cameras to understand that the mirror tricked them into doing all these things. It's very, very neat. You never quite know which time frame you're in. As it begins to ramp up, it gets really, really strong. Just the ending is not great, which is why it's number 30. But this will not be my last. This will not be my last Mike Flanagan movie. You can watch Oculus on Netflix. Coming in at number 29 is a more funny movie. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil from 2010, directed by Eli Craig, starring Tyler Labine, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, and Alan Tudyk. This movie is great. I think if you are a horror fan in general, you will like it much more than your average person. There's a lot of tricks of the trade. There's a lot of like inside jokes that horror fans will get as watching the film as itself it sets the genre upside down. It is a hillbilly slasher film in terms of how it's set up. But in actuality, it's this flip. I don't want to ruin the movie. I'm sure people have seen it at this point, but it's a really great take. It's clever. It has really fun writing. The kills are really fun as well, and because it's so lighthearted at times, you're thinking, oh, okay, it's not going to go that hardcore, and then it just totally does, and it's great, and then it just slowly devolves into something else, and it's well worth your time. It's only like 90 minutes, so it's super quick. Really funny performances from the entire cast, but Alan Tudyk specifically. It's very, very good. You can also find this on Netflix. Guys, I'm going to stop at 3. This first video is a little short. Come back next week. I'll have my next 7. Every Saturday, I will be doing 7 films until we get to actually on Halloween, which will be my final 7. We'll have a full countdown then. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, if I'm right, or if you agree that these movies are also great. Until next time.